So you want to escape the mid-game. Now, what exactly is the mid-game? It's kind of where you're stuck on figuring out what to do with your account and which direction you want to take it. You want to get to that high level end game content, but you really don't know what to do. In this video, I'm going to be giving you a bunch of goals you can set yourself to escape the mid-game. On screen right now, I'm going to show you the stats of my main account where I haven't completed all the quests, achievement diaries, collection log, and my skills are not the best. We're under 2,000 total. My goal by the end of the year is to have this account fully escape the mid-game and get to the good stuff. I made a video about a year ago talking about escaping the mid-game for an Ironman, but on a main account it is quite different. I will be giving some Ironman tips and tricks in this video if you are an Ironman. So you ready to escape the mid-game and have some fun? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to recommend is to get all of your skills up to level 80. This will really make you push yourself and train some of the skills you maybe don't like or maybe are very slow to train, say like agility or rune crafting, and really get you to push your account to the farthest limits that you can. This will also make sure that you have a lot of the requirements for achievement diaries and the quests. Back when I was a young kid, I would train a skill from like level 1 to 99 and then just hop right to the next skill. This is a very good way to burn out. So if you train like a bunch of different skills up to level 80, it's a good way to not burn out and kind of switch up the grind and the content a little bit, and really it will benefit your account so much. Until you have level 80 in all skills, don't really buy any crazy gear or expensive things. I highly recommend you invest all the money you have into your skills like herb lore and construction or even smithing, something like that. This will far benefit your account rather than buying an expensive piece of gear that won't really do too much when you have lower stats. Now, I hate to be this guy, but the next thing I'm going to recommend is to finish every single quest in the game. Now, you don't have to do them all in a row. You can do them a little bit here, a little bit there. Back when I was grinding the quest cape on my Ironman, at the very end, I would set myself, I'm going to do one quest a day, and eventually the grind will be over. If you do 10, 15 quests in a day, that's another really good way to burn out. Just doing like one a day or even one a week if you really just hate questing that much, but knock the quest cape out. It is so beneficial. It'll teleport you right to a fairy ring, which can be very huge for getting around the game, and it will unlock so much. Once you have the quest cape, you have all areas unlocked. You can go anywhere in the game, and it's one of the best things you can do like at the start. You also get so much experience from doing quests, so you can save a lot of money on some skills, or you can get faster experience in skills like agility or something like that, skills you may not like to train. So I highly recommend you just knock every single quest out in the game. This will get you to experience a lot, right? A lot of dialogue, a lot of lore, a lot of skilling, and most importantly, you will dip your toes into combat and PVM. Also, you will unlock things like raids, new towns to explore like Varlamore or even say Prifddinas, and you will also just unlock a ton of cool items that will benefit your account so much. Okay, so this is going to be for more main accounts rather than Ironman. I recommend you get a couple different little money makers, and I recommend you get an AFK money making method and a active money making method. So this means that you can always have a way to make money. Now, if you want to say watch a movie or maybe play another account, you can set yourself up to make money AFK on the side. Even if it's something like 200 or 300k an hour, it is better than nothing, and it will actually add up a lot in the long run, right? So for example, right now I've been crafting these blood runes on my main account right here just on the side while I've been actually running Chambers of Xeric runs on my Ironman account. And just in the past month, I mean, this is really like very AFK, like to the point where I would log out. That's an additional 17, almost 18 million GP that I made fully AFK, and I gained a couple of rune crafting levels in the process. Something that, you know, it's a little bit here and there, but it will add up over time, and that's a good chunk of money. That could buy a lot of things. You're also going to want to have an active money making method, right? So this could be, say, camping a boss. One thing that I always tell people to do, especially main accounts, say you want a bunch of money. The one thing I would recommend you to do is go to any boss in the game that you really like the pet for, right? Say the giant mole as an example. Kill the giant mole until you get the pet, and then you will have so much money by the end of it. Unless you get really lucky, you will have like 100 mil by the end of the grind, maybe even more than that if you do that, right? Depending on the boss, right? Some are crazy and you'll make billions before you ever get the pet. But that's a really good way to actively make money. If you like a certain boss pet, grind it until you get the pet and you will make so much. They don't have to all be PVM related as well. You could do something, say, like fishing or maybe even training hunter, right? Where you make a bunch of money and it's an active way of training. Or even thieving is another really good example where you can make a lot of money, but you have to be active the whole time. I think thieving right now is the best way to make money skilling in the game, which is crazy, but it's very click intensive. But that could be your active, and then your passive could be, say, something like fishing or whatever it might be, fletching at the bank, and make a little bit of money here and there. Okay, so now you should be working on your quest cape, started to get level 80-ish in all skills. It is about time you get the fire cape. You probably should have got it maybe a little bit earlier, but the fire cape is a super important item. Now, some people may say that it is very difficult and hard to get. Come on, really? I prayed in time. Fucking healers, man. Fuck! But honestly, with the PVM in the game now, the fire cape is one of the easier things to get, and it is like the best melee cape until you get the inferno cape in the game. So it is very good for your slayer tasks and boss tasks and whatever you're going to be doing in the future. So I highly recommend you grind out the fire cape. Don't worry if you die 10-15 times. We were all there at one point, right? If I walked into the fight caves right now and just like, because I haven't done it in so long, I would probably die as well. So yeah, getting your fire cape is kind of a challenge, but once you do it, you're very confident and you feel like you can take on bigger and better PVM challenges, and the fire cape as a reward itself is amazing. I remember when I first got my fire cape, I was wearing that, flexing that like it was like the best cape in the game, even though everyone has it. Make sure you go get your fire cape. It is super important if you want to continue and escape the mid game and get into some serious PVM. If you want ways to spend your GP that you earn, I highly recommend, probably the best investment you can make is in construction. Build yourself an amazing player-owned house. This is probably the best investment you can make on your account. It will give you access to every single teleport in the game. It will allow you to switch your spell book from the game, allow you to heal from all things, even venom and prayer and run energy. It'll allow you to heal that right from nothing. It will allow you to store a bunch of different things, helping you save bank space. There's just countless things. You can build a fairy ring. You can also build a tree spirit in your house. You can get a jewelry box, which will allow you to have every jewelry teleport in the game. You can hang up a Xerix talisman. You can hang up a dig site pendant. You can put all your pets in your house. Like, the player owned house is probably something you should invest 50 million GP into and just make it amazing. It's probably my favorite way to spend money in the mid game, just because it actually helps your account out so much. Pretty much whenever I'm doing any activity, I teleport to my house before I go to a bank, just because I heal up, deposit some stuff, switch the spell books, whatever it might be. It is the best investment you can make in the mid game, and yeah, you won't regret it. It will help you so much. If your goal is to end up maxing your account one day, you can't skip out on farm runs and birdhouse runs. They're kind of annoying to do. What I would always do is, like, the second I would log in, I would do a full tree run, a herb run, and then finish the day off with a birdhouse run. Some days where I would say be on the computer for 6 or 8 hours, which doesn't happen at all anymore, I would do a couple herb runs a day. But to make it healthy, I would stick to doing at least one massive farm run a day, where you get a bunch of experience. And if you kind of play it out right, your herbs will actually pay for your trees. And also, if you do the birdhouse runs and stuff like that, you should be able to get your farming pretty much for free. There's other methods if you don't want to spend money on farming, like doing the tithe farm or whatever, but farming and hunter should be pretty much passive, right? I got from level 80 pretty much till like 95 hunter just from doing birdhouse runs, and I probably would have got all the way to 99, but I was just stubborn, wanted to max, and I finished it off with herbivore on my Ironman account. But if you start birdhouse runs early enough, you will never have to train hunter ever on your account by the time you max, which is pretty crazy to think about. So 2 skills right there, farming and hunter. If you do them religiously, they will pretty much almost be free skills. A little bit of time spent, obviously, and they can be annoying. You know, you log in, you already geared up, you want to go do the boss or your slayer task. I gotta go do a farm run. It is a little annoying, right? But it gets better once you get the farming cape, you got the farming guild teleport and stuff like that. It definitely does get better. But yeah, keep up, be consistent with it, and yeah, then you'll get 90, 95 plus, and you'll be escaped the mid game. Don't slack on mini games either. There's a bunch that are super useful with items that can benefit your account. I'll just list a couple of huge ones right now. If you take part in the Barbarian Assault mini game, you can get this item called the Fighter Torso. Maybe it'll take you, say, anywhere between 1 to 4 or 5 hours, depending on your team and depending on the knowledge you have in the mini game itself. But basically, the Fighter Torso is a free Bando's chest plate. It doesn't have the best defense bonuses, so it's not as good as a Bando's chest plate, but it will save you roughly 30 million GP just for a few hours of work. It provides the same strength bonus, and honestly, Barbarian Assault is a lot of fun. And if you plan to really push your account to the limit, you're gonna need to do a lot of Barbarian Assault for the Elite Achievement Diaries, so you might as well knock a little bit of it out now and grab yourself the Fighter Torso. Another huge one is getting your Void from the Pest Control minigame. Another one that's not really too bad. You just walk into a place, kill a bunch of things, kill some portals. It's honestly pretty fun. I remember doing this way back in the day. And yeah, you get your Void, and then eventually you can get Elite Void. Does take a good amount of time. I would say probably about 20 hours to get your full Void, but it is super worth it. It's a hybrid gear that you can use. So it has a melee, a range, and a mage version, and I actually still use it to this day for completing Chambers of Xeric runs. It's also really good at some bosses like Vorkath. Yeah, definitely worth getting, honestly. You don't really use it too much with Slayer because you use the Slayer Helm, but other than that, Void is a solid piece of armor, and it's hybrid as well, so you can use it with all 3 combat styles. Probably the best piece of armor you can get out of a minigame. Also, you're going to want to complete as many achievement diaries as you possibly can. Now, what an achievement diary is almost like a quest for a certain region of the game. So basically, there's Ardi, Desert, Falador, Fremennik, Kandarin, Karamja, Karend, Lumbridge and Draenor, Mauritania, Varrock, Western Provinces, and Wilderness. So each one of these areas in the game has a set of achievements ranging easy, medium, hard, and finally elite. Now there's a bunch of different tasks that you can complete requiring a bunch of different skills. I will throw them up on screen right now, but each time you complete an achievement diary, you will get a new reward. So say, for example, with the arty achievements. Once you complete the easy arty achievements, you will get the easy arty cloak, and then so on and so forth. So when you complete all of the arty achievements, you will get the elite cloak. And every time you complete an achievement diary, you will get a XP lamp that you can use on any skill in the game that you want, which can actually be huge and save you a lot of money or a lot of time. Also, the perks that you get from these items, ranging from being kind of useful to it's gonna be like a thing that I use all of the time, right? Yeah, I highly recommend you complete as many achievement diaries as you can, one for the experience and one for just completing that part of the game and getting that item as a reward. Still to this day, I use pretty much all of the achievement diary items because they have their little niche uses for things around the game, like getting teleports, maybe collecting items. Like, they're just very handy to have, and they're really good for clue scrolls as well. So I highly recommend you just knock as many of them out as possible and just get the achievement diary cape. This will take you a very long time. Some people don't even get it until they're maxed. I didn't get it until I was maxed, but you can get the achievement diary cape before you're maxed, and it can be a good stepping stone if you're heading for the max cape. You can go for the achievement diary cape first and knock a bunch of things out, and it's almost like a list, like a quest. You have to finish this to get to the end goal, right? So you can kind of use it as a roadmap to get to the max cape. Now, bosses that you maybe should start with if you're at this point in the game and you want to get into some bossing, I recommend you just do a bunch of the Slayer bosses. Keep training your Slayer, keep going for the max cape. If you want to delve into some other ones, Zalra and Vorkath are really good to start with. Cerberus is good if you're on task, obviously. Now, one that really taught me a lot about PvM and was very frustrating to learn is the Hunlift fight. Now, this is the corrupted gauntlet in Prifddinas, and basically you're on a time limit. You have to gear up. You don't have to take anything in, so you don't need good gear to do this. This is a really good place to start. You actually make the gear yourself inside of the gauntlet, and you have 10 minutes to complete this, like, I don't know, dungeon, I guess you would call it, and then you fight the Hunlift boss. Now, why I would say you would be good at PvM if you can kill the Hunlift is because there's so many different mechanics, and if you master the Hunlift, you kind of will understand the tick system of the game. You'll understand gear switching, prayer switching, avoiding things coming from the sky, avoiding just so much. And once you master the corrupted gauntlet, you can really learn from there and take on any challenge in the game. I thought the Chambers of Xeric solo was near impossible, but once you can do the Corrupted Gauntlet, you kind of learn on, okay, now I have to move here, and I have to, it just really teaches you. So I highly recommend you master the Corrupted Gauntlet, and you can make a lot of money by doing so. If you get one of the Enhanced Crystal Weapon Seeds, right now it's 140 million GP, so you can make bank here, and the pet is awesome. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video today. I hope this will help you escape the mid game and finally get to the good stuff that you've always been waiting for, and just enjoy, build your bank, and just become better at the game every single day. I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya later.